Here we go.
Unscripted, unshackled, uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for more mature audiences only.
It's Miguel and Holly, Uncensored.
Well, here we are again, streaming live on our Miguel and Holly YouTube channel, Facebook page, the Hits 961 Facebook page, and we have a very special guest. I feel blessed. We have Lauv in the studio with us. Wow.
Man, this is awesome.
Okay, Lauv, can we just for a second talk about what you have on right now? Because I am just so impressed with what is this? Is it a vest? What is it?
Yeah, it's some type of I guess it's what it would be called, right? Like a vest.
Yes.
Zip up vest. I got the zippers. There's two zippers, and I got them kind of meeting in the middle. So you got a little bit of openness at the bottom, a little bit of openness at the top. You know what I mean?
Are we bringing that back? That was like, I had a vest like that where the two sides zipped. Is it a thing?
Fun. I don't know. I just kind of did it this morning, and I was like, I'm feeling this vibe. I'm gonna, come to this interview and just rock it.
I love it. Now, as a celebrity, and like when you're doing an interview, are there like different types of outfits that you have? Is there like all right, we're going to be doing an interview, or there's like all right, I'm going to go through the drive-through to get some food. I'm putting on some sweats. Like, do you have those types of different clothes?
Kinda. I mean, but I feel like on a day-to-day basis, it's kind of just all depends on my mood. Like sometimes I might pull up to an interview wearing like the sweats, and sometimes I might pull up with like something crazy. Just kind of depends on the vibe, I guess.
Yes. And we are loving the vibe today. And you're performing tonight in Charlotte. Is this your first time here?
No, it's not my first time here. It's been a while though. I can't even remember the last time. I mean, definitely far before the pandemic, probably.
Now, before we started, we were all talking about food, and I love me some food.
Miguel will try to make everything about food. So
we should talk food for the next like hour.
I am okay.
We honestly can.
Honestly, I want some Thai food right now. That would be so good.
Oh,
how long are you here till?
I'm just here today.
Yeah. How many meals you could have?
I know. I'm so disoriented. It's like literally a new place every day on this tour that I'm on. So I'm just like, here I am.
Now,
that's got to be crazy.
Does it get confusing when you're traveling so much and you are like going out on stage to be like, hello, Des Moines, Atlanta?
Like you have to check your.
I haven't messed it up yet. At least I don't think. Except for I didn't know people say Baltimore and not Baltimore, and they got corrected on that. That was one thing.
They do?
Apparently people.
So we've been singing wrong this entire time. Good morning, Baltimore.
Right? That's why I'm so confused. But someone from Baltimore corrected me. They were like, no. If you're from here, you would say Baltimore. And I'm like, well,
Baltimore.
Good morning, Baltimore.
Good morning.
I'm sorry.
Bald Voldemort.
Lord Voldemort. No, I'm not here for that.
Yeah,
but I'm not from there,
so. Yeah, I have no idea.
Do you ever have any like cheat sheets when you're on stage to like help you remember? Because I actually get nervous for artists. Because like they're always going to give like that one or two shout outs during their show.
Right.
And I actually am like, oh God, what if they say it's a different name? Like, do you have a cheat sheet somewhere on stage with you?
No cheat sheet, just my set list. But sometimes even though I've played so many shows, will still forget the set order. So sometimes I got to look down at that.
Oh, have you ever forgotten a song?
Just like
the lyrics?
It.
Lyrics.
Oh no, lyrics. I forget lyrics all the time.
Oh gosh.
Or sometimes
I would do that.
have to like burp or something.
No.
Because
as you do.
Well, you know what? It's like you have only so much time to drink your water between songs before it gets like you're just taking too long.
Right.
So sometimes I have to just gulp that. I gotta suck that water down real quick, and then there's a little burp.
I didn't know people pass gas on stage. Good Lord.
Now,
all kind of stuff.
Lauv, what's been your most sort of like embarrassing moment on stage in all of the performances that you've given all over the world?
I feel like there was something embarrassing that happened like really recently, and I can't remember what it was. It's gonna come to me. I don't know. Probably just like forgetting lyrics, tripping and falling. But that's just more painful when you fall. Like I like slammed my shin once.
How do you keep going after that? Like, you know how sometimes that like pain blinds you and you're just like, you kind of almost want to cry a little bit and someone's like, are you okay? And you're like, don't talk to me. don't talk to me.
Oh, you know
Like,
what the
how do
most
you-
embarrassing thing was? I do remember. Okay, this was it. Sorry to interrupt you. It just like dawned on me real quick.
Go.
So my YK, my tour videographer and photographer, he wanted to do this experiment because we've been kind of like shooting different content, different, at the shows, where he attached like a camera to like a small camera to my body, like through this like magnetic thing with a lanyard.
Mm.
So he had to like put it on me, but I have necklaces on. And so we're good. Like the lights are dark. He puts it on me. We do it for my song, I'm So Tired with Troye Sivan. And, it's super seamless when he attaches the camera to me. But then we go to take it off after the song, and the lanyard just gets totally tangled in my in-ear monitors and in the necklaces. So we spend like a good minute trying to get it off, and it's like so awkward. We can't get it off. We can't get it off. Can't get it off. So I have to just keep performing with this like thing hanging off of me for like the next couple songs, and then we finally get it off later. It was definitely, yeah, it wasn't too fun. But.
It's like you're trying to put on this amazing show and like really connect with your audience, and then you have something just like swinging down from your
exactly.
Your chest.
You're like, okay, this is crazy.
Yeah.
One of the things that I really wanted to focus on is the whole mental health initiative that you do, that I really didn't know a whole lot about it until I was doing some research on you. And what I thought was just so cool and so impactful is that you've not only just talked about mental health, but you've also given money from a lot of your earnings from your songs to different charities around the world. Can you talk a little bit about like the stigma and about your mission? Because obviously it's something very important to you.
No, 100%. Yeah, I mean, for me, it kind of like started when I hit my personal rock bottom, like for the first time, kind of like end of 2018 into 2019, where I before then I had witnessed a lot of people in my life close to me and, not so close to me dealing with anxiety and depression, but didn't really have my own like sense of like what that really meant, or even like eating disorders, stuff like that. But I hit this kind of rock bottom, and I was diagnosed with like an obsessive anxiety or OCD and depression, and was like, finally, like, I feel like I have nothing else that I can do other than try medication. And that was kind of the beginning of me being open to that. And long story short, as I started to like get out of that first hole that I was in, I was like, wow, like all the people around me who got me to go, find the right therapist, and who got me open to seeing a psychiatrist, and who shared their experiences with me, like, are the reason that I'm good now, or that I'm better. It's obviously always a journey. So I was like, one, I want to be open about what I experienced, because I don't know, it feels freeing for me to be open. And because, if me talking about it can give somebody else context for their own feelings, I think that's really helpful. So yeah, I kind of did that. But then also around, the same time, I put out a song called Sad Forever, and took, some of the money from that and started this foundation called the Blue Boy Foundation, where basically I have, like money earned from that, and, other sources that I donate through that organization to all sorts of mental health related organizations that are kind of doing the work on a day-to-day basis. So, and then in addition to that, like recently I started this thing called Lauv's Meditation Club, which is just, it's like a fun little silly thing. It's a phone number people can call, where I'm uploading guided meditations that I do, because it's something that helps me so much. So, yeah.
So you're on both sides, which I love. So, because a lot of people in the mental health community will talk about like either one side or the other, like, get those medications that, can help you. Or people are like, well, do the holistic route, make sure you have talk therapy.
Huge.
And tying both together, I love that you're doing that. And how did you come to that?
That's honestly such a good question. Yeah, I mean, I think at first, because it's like I grew up in a family with parents who are both scientists, so like very logic-based, people and scientific vibes. But honestly, in my 20s, I've become like a much more spiritual person in addition to that. And actually, my therapist is also, I think she's a great role model for me in that sense, because she's very much like, she's extremely intelligent when it comes, I mean, really to everything, but especially obviously like psychology and all of that. But she's also a spiritual person. And so like I've kind of delved into both sides, like whether it's meditation or even like spirit guide meditations and crystals, stuff like that. Like I'm open to all of it, like psychics, like I'm open to all of that, but also recognizing how important it's been for me to just deal with the chemical imbalance in my brain through medication as well. So
right. So you can do both. And it
Yeah.
probably is more beneficial if you do need the medication to also look into the other side, because you're healing the
100%.
whole person, not just like one symptom of one thing.
Exactly. And like, not that I'm certainly not a professional. So like, I guess take this with a grain of salt, but like the way I kind of think of medication is sometimes for like, in terms of like antidepressants or something, is almost like a cast. Like it's like, it kind of helps you rebalance stuff so you can deal with some of the work in therapy as well. Stuff like that.
My therapist one time told me to lead with emotion, constantly start off with, I feel anxious because you did this, instead of saying like, I feel like you did this to me and it just wasn't right, et cetera, et cetera, et
Right.
cetera. And I try not to like relay information from my therapist to my friends, but I feel like there are, there's little things that
that's
you can,
amazing.
there's
Yeah.
little things that you can advise people on,
Right.
And is there anything that maybe your therapist has stuck with you that you kind of just relate to your friends as well?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I mean, it's really
Those are hard to figure out right
Yeah.
off the top of your head.
Yeah,
I
it's
know,
right off the
but
top of my
there are
head.
sometimes those little great things that we pick up from our therapists.
I'm sure something will come to me.
It'll
at some
pop up
point.
when you're on
Yeah.
stage later tonight. And
Exactly.
and you'll be like
in the
Yo.
middle. Wait.
Wait, get me back on the show.
well, you're welcome anytime. What would you say to someone, because Holly is a huge mental health advocate. So is Kelvin. Kelvin just joined our show from Miami this summer. I've been a big advocate in sort of being behind Holly and cheerleading her and always saying, I need to do it. I need to do it. And then I finally took the time to jump into it. And so I'm like literally 3 weeks in to my therapist, and we had a session. I didn't tell you this yesterday or today, Holly and Kelvin, that we just sort of been getting to know each other. And so then my therapist yesterday, he was like, so next week we're going to start digging down into your childhood.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Girl.
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. It's time. Oh, I'm so excited for that. These are big steps. And by the way, I don't know where that's mental health bent, but like sometimes you do need to take the time to get to know a therapist because they might not be the right fit for you.
Right.
And if it's not, that's okay. But
Yeah.
this sounds like this person is going to be good for you. I'm glad.
It's a good place to start too.
Yeah, just let's start from the root and work our way up.
Mm-hmm.
But what would you say, Lauv, to someone who is sort of at the beginning stages of therapy? Because as you know, we're still trying to get over that stigma of like, oh, you'll be fine. You don't need to talk to nobody. What would you say?
Talk to your
someone?
friends.
Yeah, you'll be fine. What do you tell people that are in the beginning stages of that journey?
I mean, I think I feel like some of it in the beginning can be very like fear-based. So I think just like what's really helpful for me is to think of things in very bite-sized pieces. So just being like, okay, like today I'm just going to open up to if therapy seems like scary for you right now, or it seems like too much. Okay, I'm just going to open up to somebody around me about something and kind of take that step by step. And I think that's been for me kind of how I've made progress, is to not think too big or too high of goals, but just like what is like one little step I can take in terms of vulnerability or something that, feels like the right direction for me. So I think that.
Good advice. That's really good advice.
How
Baby
do you think when it comes to your fame and how much you've grown? Because I think when I was reading up on you, that you at first wanted to sort of be behind the scenes and writing songs for other people. Well, how did sort of making that choice to sort of be in front and to lead with your thoughts and your emotions and singing them, how did that affect your mental health?
Oh man, that's how much time do we got? I mean, that's a big one. No, yeah. I mean,
All of
no,
it.
for real though. I mean, it's been the best thing, but in some ways it also has been a bit of a bad thing. I think it's been a necessary journey. Like being an artist and not just being a songwriter and producer behind the scenes has helped me really like find and redefine and just shape myself and be the person that I want to be and build confidence and do so much. But it's also put an enormous amount of pressure on me, and I'm someone who really internalizes the pressure. So I'm working on that. But yeah, I mean, I think the amount of stress that I've undergone just being the kind of person when I started being an artist, or not being, when I started publicly, releasing music as Lauv, like I was very like shy and like wanted to, not really show my face very much and, do videos and so on and so forth. And I kind of was just like, nah, steaming ahead, like, me and my team at the time, just like doing it. And so I think, but the kid inside of me, the person inside of me never stopped being insecure. even though I was putting myself out there so much.
Right.
So it's kind of like there was this lack of balance that happened where I was like, externally my life looked one way, but internally I still felt so underdeveloped in terms of my actual confidence and security in myself. So that was what I had to deal with, honestly, over the pandemic. And really, like, this album that I just put out is like very much kind of that process of me of like getting back to the kid inside of me, you know, through things like inner child meditation, through freestyling, like literally writing the songs by freestyling on the microphone as opposed to writing, doing things that felt very like freeing, and it felt like I could give Ari a chance to be Ari again. Yeah.
And be seen, because
Yeah.
that little person inside you wants to be seen.
Yeah. 100%.
What is your favorite part of being that front man for yourself? Like, you know, because if you're spending all of your time, if you had just gone the path of, you know, songwriter or behind the scenes, it may have turned out obviously in your head a different way, and battling the two is tough. But like, what's the favorite part that you've witnessed since you are in the front, since you are the public persona? What's your favorite part of that?
I think it's when I do something that feels like a risk to me and it's received with love. Like, that's really, I think that, and like feeling that connection. So like if it's something like on stage where I'm like, you know, in my head and nervous to do something and I do it and it like hits, or like, I don't know, there's just such a nice feeling of like that growth and that connection, I guess. It's really nice.
What do you do to escape everything? Because I feel like so much of our world, like we feel it as radio people, where the news and just work is always surrounding. Well, like when you go out, people know who you are all the time. So like, how do you get away from everything so you can just go back to being Ari and just being one with yourself?
I mean, I feel like when I'm home in LA, just chilling at home, you know, like, yeah, chilling at home, chilling with friends, meditating, obviously. I would love to go on a vacation soon. That would be fun. That would be sick.
Where would you go?
I would love to go somewhere in Mexico or to Hawaii. Yeah,
Okay.
that would be super sick.
So what's like the perfect day of, like, you know, the old record reps here aren't calling you, or someone's like, hey, can you do a quick TikTok for us?
Oh my goodness.
Like, what is the perfect day if you have nothing with work involved?
Like at the house or whatever.
You know what? I don't even know the answer to that question, but I'm going to find out. Give me a year and I'm going to figure out what that perfect day is.
Oh,
that is awesome.
I don't know. Like, I actually don't know. And I can't even pretend like I do. I feel like I'm very, like, when I have free time, I usually stress about, like, what should I do with my free time? So, like, I need to find out.
What do you usually do with it, even if you're stressing?
I don't know. What do I do with it? Like, literally just hang with my friends, hang with my dogs. I would say skateboarding, but every time I get back into skateboarding, I skate one day and then I don't skate for months.
You're like, okay, that's
So
good.
I'm like,
that's it. We're done.
I did it.
It's like pretend hobby, like, even though I used to love it. Yeah, I don't know. I truly don't know.
So we need to get you
We're gonna
on
work
a
on that.
vacation.
Yeah.
When the tour is all wrapped up,
Yeah.
and you need to start. See, this is the
Reclaim
thing.
your time.
Exactly.
You're gonna reclaim your time.
Exactly. See, you need to start making the plans now.
Yeah.
And so you have something to look forward to, because I mean, how long does your tour go on for?
This one goes to the end of September, but then I'm doing some dates in Asia, and then coming back, and I think gonna be doing some more shows. So yeah.
Like, how does that, like, when you look at your calendar on your phone, like, I don't even know if you have it like on your phone, where you're like, all right, in November 5th, I'm going to be here. But is that sort of like intimidating a little bit when you're like, all right, this is where I'm going to be March 15th? You already know.
I feel like I just, at this point, have like gotten so used to surrendering to the flow of it that I'm just like, my goal is to just stay in the moment every day. And if I can do that, then like whatever I'm doing, you know, tomorrow or like 6 months from now, even if that is predetermined, it kind of doesn't matter. I'm just like, I'm here now. So
you're just going with it.
Yeah.
What is your ultimate goal in the music industry?
Oh, wow. I mean, I don't even really want to say it, but like,
I say put it out into the universe.
I mean, honestly, and it's taken me a long time to be able to actually like say this and want to do this, but like to be like one of the biggest artists in the world. Yeah. Or to be the, for real. So I didn't even want to say one of the, but that's what I said because I didn't want to sound ridiculous.
You heard it. Put it out. You put it out there. The universe took it and it's going.
Yeah.
What makes you scared to say that?
Because it sounds like, oh, cool. Like, you want to be the biggest artist in the world? Like, so does so many people. You know what I
Right.
mean? There's a lot of people who want that.
Yeah, but why not you?
I don't know. I guess you're right.
Yeah.
See, I feel
work on
like
that. I gotta work
maybe
on
young
that.
Right?
Ari's like, oh,
Mhm.
that's too much and too scary. And
Right,
you're like, okay.
right.
I can't say
Right.
that. Who am
The
I to
grown-up
say?
me, the grown-up me knows that we can handle this. We
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah. No, 100%.
You're not doing so
Yeah.
bad.
Thank you.
No, true.
And you know,
Amen.
it's so interesting when you dig down into those fears, because we talk about that a lot on our podcast, where we talk
Mhm.
about our fears and, you know, how we hold ourselves back. But I've always been a big believer in like putting it out there, because the biggest person that's going to be your cheerleader is yourself.
Yeah.
And that like, if we can't say that about ourselves, how can we expect other people to say it?
No,
So-
it's so true.
We gonna say it now. Lauv
Yeah.
gonna be one of the most successful artists of all
Yes.
time.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
I love it. So before we let you go here to get ready for your show tonight here in Charlotte, when you made it, and whatever that is for you, what was that first big purchase you made?
Oh, okay. The first big purchase was a Tesla.
Ooh,
Yes,
Yeah.
honey.
What
Yeah.
color?
Mm.
I just got the
You know how I
I got
feel.
the kind of like midnight gray. I kind of want to wrap it in a cool color. I don't know if you guys have any suggestions
Ooh.
Ooh.
or like a pattern. I almost wanted to get it wrapped in Four Loko pattern, but that was just insane.
Get it in like Bratz. I like your Bratz.
That would be
tattoo.
sick. I love the Bratz tattoo. It's so
I
fun.
love that.
Listen, if you get Bratz or For Loco, they better be paying for that, okay? It's
Right.
about sponsorship up in here.
Sponsorships
Or
like
Loco
NASCAR.
Tesla.
Like they better
Oh
pay
my
you a whole
goodness.
big
It'd be
paycheck.
So
I'm
good.
here thinking like matte black.
Yes. Ooh. Well, Lauv, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate
You guys are lovely.
it.
This was super fun.
Absolutely.
Good,
Well,
thank
thank you.
you.
Oh, and we
Yeah.
also have to tell you, I cannot forget this, because our Platypus Posse,
Mm.
these are our fan members that are a part of our off-air podcast. So we have our on-air show, and then we do the podcast. And so we call the listeners to this our Platypus Posse. So whenever we're out in public or somewhere, and they literally will just scream at us, "Platypus!"
That's so good. I love that.
It's a little
That's
startling.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
so-
it's good.
We wanted to give you one of our little platypuses here. And
Oh.
so you
Oh,
are an
get a
official
platypi.
member of our Platypus Posse.
Whoa, thank you.
Yay.
Yes,
so
welcome to the
cute.
fam.
We have a lot
Oh
of
my
platypi up in
goodness.
here.
We do.
A lot of
This
platypuses.
is so cute.
Platypi. Yeah.
What should I name?
Whatever you want.
Yeah, you have to think about it. You got to
I'll
like
think about
feel
it.
them out, you know,
Yeah.
take them with you on stage tonight when you're in Charlotte.
Yeah.
And
In my
then-
pocket right here.
Exactly. And then
Oh,
like
do it.
tonight when you get off, when you get on the tour bus and you're like, all right, his name is Pete the Platypus.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to have alliteration, although we prefer. But it's fine.
Okay, got it. I see there's rules here.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, Lauv, thank you so much for joining us on the
thank
podcast,
you.
and welcome to the Platypus Posse.
Thank you. I'm honored.
Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
Catch it on the iHeartRadio app or anywhere you listen to podcasts.